What if I told you the most powerful response to betrayal isn't rage, isn't tears, and sure as hell isn't begging? It's silence. That's right. No texts at 2 a.m., no double taps on old photos, no "I miss you" messages you'll regret the moment you hit send. Just silence. Pure, intentional, surgical silence. Because when she left, she wasn't looking for closure. She was looking for control. And the second you break down trying to prove your worth, you hand it to her. That's the game. She wants attention. She craves reaction. Even your pain feeds her ego. But when you go quiet, when you don't flinch, don't explain, don't chase, that's when everything shifts. You see, the man who chases loses value. The man who centers himself in the storm becomes rare. Stoicism doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't fold. You feel everything, but you move like nothing phases you. That's strength. That's power. That's how a man becomes unforgettable. She thought she could break you. She thought you'd spiral. And maybe for a while you did. You stared at your phone. You replayed conversations. You blamed yourself. But here's the turning point. You stop making her the center of your story. You stop bleeding in silence and start healing in silence. Because this isn't about getting her back. It's about getting you back. And let me say this. If she ever comes back, it'll be because your silence screamed louder than any words could. Not because you chased, but because you disappeared. That's the Stoic power move. You make peace your priority. You stop reacting and you start evolving. So ask yourself, are you the man who breaks when he's abandoned? Or the man who rebuilds so strong, the one who left can't recognize him anymore? If you're done bleeding for someone who didn't value you, if you're ready to become untouchable, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I rise in silence. Number 1, the collapse. You felt it the moment she started pulling away. Short replies, cold energy. The silence between texts got louder, and you started shrinking just to keep her interested. You told yourself it was just a phase, that she was busy, that maybe you did something wrong. But deep down, you knew. She was gone before she ever walked out the door. And when she finally left, it wasn't a dramatic goodbye. It was a slow, suffocating fade. You're left staring at your phone, scrolling through memories, wondering how someone you gave so much to could treat you like you meant nothing. That's the collapse, that first hit of heartbreak that feels like a punch straight to the chest. Your world stops. You can't eat, you can't think. Your mind replays every moment, every word, trying to figure out where it went wrong. But here's the truth. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes they just needed to know they still had power over someone. And your pain. That's proof they mattered. But this is where the transformation begins, because collapse isn't the end. It's the start of clarity. The world isn't falling apart. It's falling into place, piece by piece without her. Your collapse is the clean break from who you were, the overgiver, the overthinker, the version of you addicted to her validation. That version had to die for the real you to rise. No more begging, no more explaining, no more chasing what was never yours to keep. Let her wonder why the calls stop. Let her feel the absence of your attention. While she's out there feeding on ego, you're feeding your future. She wanted to shake your foundation. Now you become the man with no cracks. If you're done letting heartbreak define you, if you're ready to build from the ashes, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I rebuild in silence. Number 2, stop explaining yourself. She left, and now you feel like you owe her answers, like you need to prove you were good enough. You start writing paragraphs that sound like apologies for loving too hard. You try to show her your heart, hoping she'll finally understand. But here's what you haven't realized yet. When someone makes the decision to walk away, they've already built a narrative in their mind, and no amount of explaining is going to rewrite it. When you explain yourself, you're seeking validation. You're saying, "Please see my side, please care." But she doesn't. Not anymore. That moment when you type out your feelings, hoping she'll finally respond with compassion, she reads it, feels a little more powerful, and moves on. Not because you're weak, but because you're still available, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and that's her leverage. The Stoic move? You say nothing. You don't defend your worth. You don't argue your value. You let her sit with her version of the story, and you move in silence, writing a better one without her in it. You don't need closure when you have self-respect. You don't need to be understood by someone who was never trying to understand you in the first place. Silence isn't cowardice. It's command. It tells her, "You no longer have access to me, not even to my pain." That's how you shift the dynamic. That's how you reclaim power. Because the man who stops explaining himself becomes a mystery, and mystery is magnetism. If you're done trying to prove your worth to someone who stopped listening, if you're ready to let your silence speak louder than your words ever could, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I owe no explanations. Number 3. Attraction dies in validation. You thought if you just showed her more love, more attention, more effort, she'd come back. You believed that if you reminded her of all the good times, all the sacrifices, she'd finally see your worth. But the more you gave, the less she cared. The more you chased, the faster she ran. That's not love, man. That's imbalance. That's the death of attraction. Here's what most men don't understand. Women don't fall for you because you worship them. They fall for you because you stand firm in who you are, with or without them. When you beg, when you validate constantly, you flip the dynamic. You go from being the mountain to being the follower, and she can't respect what she doesn't feel challenged by. You think you're being kind, vulnerable, romantic. But what you're really doing is signaling dependency. And dependency kills desire. She doesn't want to feel like your oxygen. She wants to feel your strength. And strength doesn't chase. Strength attracts by existing, by being, by growing silently in the background while she questions everything she let go. Validation is only powerful when it's rare, when it's earned. If you hand it out freely, it becomes noise. So stop trying to prove. Stop trying to fix. You're not a project. You're a man on a mission. You don't pause your purpose for anyone who walked away from it. When you stop validating her and start validating yourself, that's when she feels the void. That's when she looks back. But by then, you'll be too far ahead to care. If you're done chasing, if you're ready to become the one they chase, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I validate myself. Number 4. Emotions are weapons. Don't hand her yours. She wanted a reaction, not a resolution. She didn't want to fix things. She wanted to see if she still had control. That's the part that stings the most. She knew exactly which buttons to press. The late replies, the mixed signals, the "I just need space" talk that turned into her laughing it up with someone new a week later. You were never crazy. She just knew how to trigger your chaos. And the moment you reacted, she won. Every angry message, every emotional outburst, every "I don't understand why you're doing this" text. She pocketed those as proof that she still had power over your mind, that you were still hers, even after she left. But a Stoic man doesn't react. He doesn't throw punches in the dark hoping to be heard. He recognizes the setup. He knows that emotions, once exposed, become ammunition. You feel it, but you don't show it. Not to her, not to anyone trying to manipulate it, because once you hand someone your emotional keys, they start driving the car of your life. You want real power? Sit with your rage, sit with your heartbreak, process it in silence, train, building focus, channel it into becoming better, not bitter. Because when she sees that nothing she says, nothing she posts, nothing she does can pull a reaction from you, that's when she starts questioning everything. Your silence becomes unsettling. Your peace becomes intimidating. She wanted to see you spiral, but you stood still, unbothered, unreachable, unbreakable. If you're done being emotionally played, if you're ready to protect your peace like it's sacred, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My emotions are mine alone. Number 5. The power of vanishing. There's a moment when you realize staying visible is keeping you stuck. Every story you watch, every message you send, every time you check in, it's not for closure, it's for crumbs. You're not healing, you're hovering, and she knows it. She can feel you still orbiting her world, and as long as she knows you're watching, she doesn't have to feel the weight of losing you, because you never really left. So vanish, not to punish, but to protect your soul. Disappear from her radar. No warnings, no goodbyes. You don't explain your silence. You just go. Let her feel the true absence of you. No more free access to your energy. You stop posting for her. You stop checking for her. You stop performing your pain hoping she notices. This isn't about going ghost to seem mysterious. It's about going dark so you can rebuild in peace. You stop bleeding in public. You stop performing heartbreak like it's a show. When you vanish, you reclaim the space where she used to live in your mind. You give that energy back to yourself. And here's the twist. When you're no longer visible, that's when curiosity hits. That's when she wonders, why isn't he watching anymore? Has he moved on? That silence, it starts to echo. That absence, it starts to speak. And the longer you stay gone, the louder your growth becomes. You don't owe anyone your presence, especially someone who made you question your worth. Your vanishing act is not escape, it's evolution. Let her chase your shadow while you build your legacy. If you're done living in her world, if you're ready to reclaim your space, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My absence is power. Number 6. Pain is the currency of transformation. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. You might not see it right now because all you feel is the sting, the weight in your chest, the silence that used to be filled with her voice, the memories that hit you like a sucker punch out of nowhere. You replay every moment, every mistake, every red flag you ignored, and it feels like you lost a part of yourself. But here's the truth. What you're feeling, that's not the end. That's the beginning. Pain is the price you pay to evolve. It doesn't show up to destroy you. It shows up to destroy the illusion that she completed you, the illusion that you needed her to be whole. This pain, it's a brutal teacher, but it teaches what comfort never could: self-respect, self-control, self-worth. You don't get those for free. You earn them, and pain is the currency. You think this is suffering, but it's sharpening. Every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered message, it's cutting away the weakness, the indecision, the fear. And underneath all of that, a man who's dangerous in the best way, a man who doesn't beg, doesn't break, doesn't fold. You've been brought to your knees not so you'd stay there, but so you'd stand up stronger, wiser, colder, and clean. Think of it like this. Fire doesn't just burn, it purifies. You're walking through fire right now, and when you come out the other side, you won't even recognize the man who entered it. You'll move different, speak different, choose different, and she'll see it too. She'll remember the version of you that would have dropped everything for her and realize he's gone. replaced by someone she can no longer reach. So let it hurt. Don't run from it. Sit in it, own it, and then rise. Because this pain, it's not your prison, it's your path. Walk it like a king. If you're done running from the pain, if you're ready to use it as fuel, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "My pain builds me." Number 7, you're not cold, you're controlled. People will call you cold when you stop reacting, when you don't chase, when you don't flinch, when your phone lights up with her name and you don't even blink. They'll say you've changed, that you're numb, that you don't care. But the truth is, you care more than ever. You just care about the right things now. Your peace, your focus, your self-respect. Being stoic doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel everything and still choose discipline over chaos. You don't let your emotions hijack your behavior. You don't let her confusion turn into your obsession. That's not cold, that's control. And in a world that's constantly trying to trigger a reaction out of you, silence, stillness, and restraint are weapons. There was a time when one text from her could derail your whole day. One look, one breadcrumb of attention, and suddenly you were spiraling, overthinking, overanalyzing, overreaching. But now, you breathe through it. You observe it. You let the storm rage outside while you stay centered within. That's the shift. That's the evolution. She thought she could break you with distance, that you'd lose yourself trying to get her back. But instead, you found yourself. And now your lack of reaction is louder than anything you could ever say. It's not that you stopped loving, it's that you started loving yourself more. So let them talk. Let her wonder. Let them mislabel you. You're not cold, you're in control. And that's what makes you dangerous. If you're done being ruled by impulse, if you're ready to master your emotions, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my fire. Number 8, let her feel your absence. You were always there, always available. Always one call, one text, one "I miss you" away from showing up. No matter how badly she treated you, no matter how many times she pulled away, you made yourself easy to reach. And in doing that, you made yourself easy to forget. She never had to feel your loss, because she never really lost you. But that ends now. Let her feel your absence. Not just your silence, but your detachment. Let her go searching for your presence and find nothing but echoes. No more checking in. No more waiting on her to miss you. You don't orbit her world anymore. You've built your own, and she's not invited. Absence isn't passive, it's powerful. When you remove your energy, your support, your attention, you create a void. And that void forces reflection. The same woman who once rolled her eyes at your love will start wondering why it's no longer there. The man who used to drop everything, gone, and in his place. A man who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't need her validation to breathe. She wanted to feel adored. Now let her feel replaced, not by another woman, but by your mission, your grind, your growth. You're not disappearing into sadness, you're disappearing into your purpose. And when you vanish without warning, she's left with the noise of her own decisions. Let her scroll through her contacts and hesitate before reaching out. Let her type that message and delete it. Let her feel the silence she created. If you're done being an option, if you're ready to become unforgettable through absence, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My absence echoes louder than my words. Number 9. From chosen to chooser. For too long you waited to be picked. You sat on standby, hoping she'd see your worth, hoping she'd finally realize you were the one. Every breadcrumb felt like a promise. Every maybe kept you hooked. You let her hold the power because deep down you believed her approval made you valuable. But not anymore. Now, You flip the script. You're no longer the one hoping to be chosen. You're the one choosing. You choose who gets access to you. You choose who gets your time, your energy, your presence. And just because she had it once doesn't mean she gets it again. This shift isn't just external, it's internal. It's realizing that you never needed to earn love from someone who saw you as an option. It's understanding that you are the prize, and not everyone is qualified to stand beside you, especially not someone who threw you away just to see if you'd come crawling back. This is about standards, about self-respect, about no longer entertaining people who confuse attention with affection. You don't get excited when she texts anymore. You evaluate. You don't rush to reply. You decide if it's even worth your peace. She used to be the sun. Now she's just a memory orbiting a man who finally sees his own light. And when she comes back, and yes, they almost always try, your answer won't come from bitterness. It'll come from clarity, because the man who used to wait for love now walks in it, alone if necessary, whole regardless. If you're done trying to earn what should have been mutual, if you're ready to choose yourself every time, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I am the one who chooses. Number 10. Silence is the loudest revenge. No response, no closure, no last words. That's the move. Not because you're weak, not because you're bitter, but because silence speaks louder than any comeback ever could. You don't need to prove a point when your absence says everything. You don't need revenge when your growth is the consequence. She expected you to rage, to plead, to fall apart, but you didn't. You vanished, you leveled up, you moved on, and that's the one outcome she didn't see coming. See, silence is uncomfortable. It forces reflection. It creates space for doubt. While you stay quiet, she starts questioning. Did he stop caring? Did he find someone better? How is he okay without me? That confusion, that's the effect of detachment. That's the aftermath of you choosing peace over petty. No arguments, no emotional scenes, just stillness. And in that stillness, your power multiplies. Revenge is easy. Silence is mastery. Anyone can fire off a bitter message. Anyone can try to make someone feel what they felt. But the Stoic man, he doesn't react, he outgrows, and the silence that once felt like heartbreak becomes your armor. It's how you remind the world, and her, that your energy isn't free, that your presence was a privilege, and once it's lost, it's gone. She may never admit it, but she'll feel it. Every time she sees you thriving, every time she remembers how steady you were, every time she realizes the door is closed, and this time you're not the one reaching back. If you're done explaining, done reacting, and ready to let your silence speak for you, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence is final. You're not who you were at the start of this video. You're stronger, sharper, still. Welcome to the other side. Stoic, unshakable, untouchable.